Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title suggests, into the role for Natalia Ramirez on General Hospital. Y'all heard the rumors, y'all know the story. The question is, how will it end? We know that there's going to be an end. The question is how. Now, we have a lot to talk about, people. Let's get in the roll call and get this started. GH fans in the chat, how you doing tonight? Amy is in the chat, how you doing tonight? Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ, is in the chat, how you doing tonight? Queen of the South is in the chat, how are you doing tonight? Hope everyone had a great, amazing day. Start off with something a little light, some more heavier. Now, like I said, we had a lot to talk about. We got 5 soap operas to do. Who's who's we? Who's we? Who's all? Who's all? Who's speaking for me? I actually like Natalia. So, but personal preference is a personal preference. I'm doing good, Black Mon. I survived today. I survived waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning after going to bed a little bit later than I would like to. But it's all good because I get to sit there and sleep in a little bit, but not too much long. I wake up at a normal time. Queen of is how you doing tonight? Good to see you. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Well, thank you for being here, Queen. It's always a pleasure to have you. Okay, where's my damn music? It is. Amber is in the chat. How are you doing tonight? I hope everyone had a great, lovely day. Where does my music at? Okay, that's good. That's better. That's getting better. Terry, I just came into the chat. How you doing tonight? I hope you had a great day. I hope everyone had a great day. Now, how you know how you do it? You know how we do it. Hit the like button as you're coming in. 13 people in the chat. I hope we got a somewhat even number of likes in there. Krista Ramirez in the chat. How you doing tonight? Members, we're gonna have a fun weekend. I already planned it out. We're gonna have a very fun weekend this weekend coming up. Members, so definitely come through. Hit y'all with some surprises this weekend. I'm doing good, Cherry. I hope you had a good day as well. It's I survived waking up at 4 o'clock this morning, so I'm celebrating the shit out of that. Is it Yetta or Vetta? Aveti? Yaveti? Yaveti, right? I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But yeah, let's everyone welcome Betty. Or what? Why Betty? Jesus Christ, how do you pronounce your name? Francis in the chat, how you doing tonight? Ronnie Ron, how you doing tonight, Ron? Oh, Yvette. Oh, thank you. Yvette. Wow. Sorry, Yvette. I'm pretty bad with names. Well, it's funny, Ryan. Somebody else said the same thing. Somebody else is like, how come there's no Scorpios there? How come Tracy's not there? And it's one of those things where it's like, people sit there and ask, and like, I guess they don't sit there and take for account that a lot of times, Yvette, no, I'm really bad with names, but thank you for being patient. But I think some people just they don't sit there and consider that, like, it's also actor schedules and stuff like that. We don't know what Mac is actually, what the actor's going through. I know that he had some sort of condition going on, so I don't know that's going, how that's how that's treating him. So it's certain little things that I think that people really consider when they're wondering why another character isn't there, why isn't this person there. Ron says your thoughts on EJ and Johnny. Um, they had a nice little reunion, you know, and Johnny appreciated the fact that he knew. Well, Johnny appreciated the fact that um, Johnny appreciated the fact that even though EJ thought that he shot him, he was still willing to protect him, you know. And right then and there, that's when he was like, he let down his guard, he let down his anger, because he knew that his dad was going to love him no matter what. Right before he got arrested. So that's my thoughts. Sasha is Felice's daughter. Yeah, I can see them doing some dumb shit like that too, Krista. Francis says Natalia is so delusional thinking Sonya was going with her. Yo, nobody remembers a conversation with nobody remembers a conversation with Sonny Smith there saying that he was going to go down there with Natalia or visit Natalia or have anything to do with traveling down there even for the first time. So like, my whole thing is, when did Natalia get this idea? Like, I don't know if it's just sloppy writing or what I'm saying. I feel like it's just sloppy writing because unless they sit there and say, well, we had conversations, off screen, or we had private conversations. And, I kind of alluded that Jerry says, I do. You remember him sitting there saying that he was going to go down there to um, that place in Natalia? Do you think that Ray was fishing for answers, or was he attempting to convince Jada that Johnny didn't help out AJ? I think he was just. I think he was just. I don't think it was either one of those things. I think he just wanted. I think that he wanted. Um. He just wanted. He just wanted. Oh, he just wanted Johnny to sit there and get a fair shake. You know, no trickery or anything like that, or pretty much don't presume that he did it. Just listen to him and go off of that as opposed to just assuming that he did it. That's my thoughts. Wow, I thought he was escorting her down there. I remember a conversation of him saying that. So like that's weird. Francis says, "Who do you think is watching Daisy, Willow, or Shot? Sitwell or someone else?" Well, it's definitely not Sitwell. I don't think it's Sitwell. I don't think it's Willow. I don't know why people listen to this thing is Willow. I think the only reason why people listen to this thing is Willow because they don't like Willow. But it's definitely gonna be somebody else. I'll be surprised if it's Willow. I'll tell you that much. But I think most people want it to be Willow because you know. Yeah, I remember. I don't remember him sitting there saying that. He talked about the island and her going down there, but I don't know. I don't remember that. Brian says, "Is there any chance you could try again to get in touch with the girls from the Port Charles Update podcast? They really hilarious, and I think it'd be cool if we did a show." I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Ryan. I'm a little salty about it because when I first started off just doing like reviews and stuff like that, I reached out to them because I wanted to do a collab with them, and they ignored me. So I'm kind of on some effing. Like in all reality, I'm really on some effing. Like, and I know that's kind of petty, but like when I was starting off, they could have reached back to me. They could be like, "Nah, 1 second, Ron." They could have been like, "Nah, I don't think this collab will work" or anything like that. No, I like I said, they don't. Okay, but that's what I'm saying, Ron. That's what I'm saying, Ryan. They could have reached out to me and they could have been like, "No, you know what? Listen, I'm not interested" or anything like that, or we're just kind of busy or anything like that. Like they read my comment, they just chose to ignore me, and that just didn't sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? What's good, Laura B? No, I took that kind of personal. Like, okay, I get it. I was newbie at the time. I was just starting off and everything. But yeah, I don't. Well, I know that. Thank you, Laura B. Thank you. No, it was actually a lot of fun. It was actually a lot of fun. So thank you. It's good to see you. It was good, Sean. But yeah, that's the thing though. Like, somebody reads your comment, it's like, all right, get back to me or something like that. And it literally sat there and said, like, it seems like I know that they read the comment. They just chose not to get back to me. So I'm going to choose to act like they don't exist since they want to do that to me. What's good, Darby? And Ron says, what is Rafe up to trying to convince Cat that he wants to take AJ down? Well, I don't think he was trying to convince her. He was just saying that he's a bad dude, and if there's something that's shady that's going on, it probably has something to do with EJ's up to something. I don't think he was trying to convince. I don't think he was trying to convince her that he wanted to take her down. I mean that he wanted to take EJ down. I didn't say it that way. What's good, Sean? It's good to have you. What's good, Big Nate? How are you doing tonight? This also is good for the most part. What's good, Eagle? Describe Natalia. Describe Natalia Ramirez run and GH. Brian says, I do get what you're saying. I thought that maybe you had talked to someone else and they didn't get the message or something, but it sounds pretty cut and dry to me the way you explained it. Yeah. And granted, yes, I could sit there and probably reach out to them again or whatever, but like, yeah, I'm not. There's certain people I would sit there and want to do a collab with, and other people I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. They're one of those people where I'm good. Yes, ego. Look like look like look like the end of the road for her. I don't know if it's that. I don't even think it's so much of that, Ryan, as far as like me asking again. I'm not really interested, honestly, to tell you the truth, working with them. You know? To be fair, I have never actually watch any of their videos. I know that they have a YouTube channel, um, but I never actually intentionally go out my way to sit there and watch them. That's just hard to really watch anyone, you know? That one time was like, nah, I'm good. So I think it was just more of a personal thing, like, Sean says Natalia should have saw Sonny and Turner talking. Why? Why should Natalia um saw Turner and Sonny talking for him? And Francis says 27 people in the chat and 14 likes. Yeah, Francis, chat, hit the like button because it really does actually help. Oh, right. You never have to choose a side. No, you never have to choose a side. I would never ask you. I would never ask you to do that. Also, tell you the truth. And like I said, I like Brock. I know you go on Brock channel. I would never sit there and say, oh, well, don't go to Brock or anything. Like, I'm petty. I'm not that petty, though. Oh, what's good, Sharon? And what's good, Kevo? A little bit. Not that much heels. Francis says look like Cole's dying on why not his character really didn't do anything anyway. It's weird. I feel like that might be what they call a red herring, right? And what's good, Sharon? Darby says, isn't Sunny worried about Solo getting revenge if he gets rid of Natalia? Maybe on because honestly, tell you the truth, Solo look like he don't have like he look like he don't like Natalia either. If we're gonna be honest, why would? Oh wow, yeah, no, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Hills. Damn. Yeah, we talked a little bit. Yeah, condolences to him and his family, and condolences to his family. Sean says Claire will probably blame Kyle for Cole's death. Why? Why would Claire blame Kyle for Cole's death? Jenna says, I'm so over Natalia. Hmm. Not a big fan of Beyond the Gazes this week. But I mean, Sharon, you always need to be careful online. Yeah, I mean, today was, yeah. Krista says, Sitwell don't give a exactly. He don't exact. Thank you. He don't give a damn about Natalia. And people said that. People said that. People said that Natalia was drunk when she came into church. Eagle says, "Do you feel that Lou was flirting with Gio at the pool?" No, no. I think he just, they just was laughing about some stupid ish. They would be mad Kyle wasn't there to support her. That's stupid. I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, that would be hell. Unless you watched Monday's episode, I'll be to watch Monday's episode and you're spoiling it for me because Brian says I wasn't here on Wednesday. I just want to say I got more joy than I probably should have when I found out that Martin's insurance was canceled. Okay. But yeah, that would, I mean, What was I Wednesday? Was I even here? Oh yeah, I was here Wednesday. I just wasn't here Thursday. Yeah, that'll just be stupid. Um, it's interesting though because I saw the previews for Monday today, and apparently, Kane and what's his name? Not Damien. What's the other guy's name? Yeah, I didn't see any flirting. I didn't see any flirting out of Lord B. What's the other guy name though? It's not Damien, but thank you. Thank you, Francis Holden. And thank you, Laura B. Yeah, it looks like Holden and Kane are like working together. Yeah. Thank you, Darby. I don't okay. I'll say this. I don't like the fact that Michael was just going along with what Sasha wants for the baby, like like it's not his child as well. I'm I don't like it. It doesn't sit right with me. Well, yeah, now people definitely have a reason not to trust Holden Francis. He made a big it turns out that he's just lying to people. Well, I mean, it's not just that. It's just like Michael being like, well, I'm letting Sasha cheat take the lead on how exactly on how the baby is raised and stuff like that. All those decisions are Sasha's, and I'm like, and why are we okay with that? Because that's my whole thing. When that child grows up, she's going to have resentment towards Michael. I mean, like I said, she's going to have resentment towards Michael the same way that Christina had resentment towards Sonny. And why he sits there and says, well, I don't want my child to sit there and think that, I didn't love her as much, or your actions just proving otherwise. Alicia, where did Natalia get the idea that Sonny was going with her? Did I miss? Exactly. That's why I'm asking the child. I was like, I feel like I might have missed something. And she seemed like she was about to have a damn near nervous breakdown. Did y'all see that shit? I mean, seriously. It's like, oh, I did so much for Sonny, and he's like, seriously, Terry's like, he's not going with me, and this, that, and the third. I was like, girl, what are you talking about? I, you know, I thought she was gonna get spooked. Okay, that's what's up, Francis. A vet says, I really think the Natalia's in love for Sonny. Yeah, Janice says Luna was disappointment. I thought it was what's good, Sean. I thought that Luna. It's funny. Somebody in my chat, I think it was somebody other in my chat or somewhere, was like, um, Luna should have listened to her grandmother and just left town. You got to go back to jail or get killed. You just got a full pardon for unaliving two people, and the first thing your dumbass decides to do is get obsessed with people who don't want nothing to do with you, pull a pew pew on one person, and like, now that this man was wearing a wire and decided to pull out a pew pew, I just like. Here's the thing. I have a feeling, and I know. I mean, I've heard rumors that the actress that's playing Luna is leaving the show. You know, I hope it's something right because, like I said, I just think it's just some dumb shit. If we're gonna be honest, at least just I predict that Michael will rule the day he had a child with Sasha. Yeah, I don't blame him because she's hella. What's good, Double C? She's hella controlling, hella controlling. And I don't want really, I don't, yeah. So like Michael needs to step up and start fighting for rights of that child because yeah, exactly, Double C. I heard the same thing. I heard the exact same thing. Oh, I actually have more than I thought. Ego says so. Johnny didn't blank EJ. So the question is, who are the prime sus? Who is the prime suspect? People are just saying it's little Rachel, which I ain't buying. Yep, so you heard that too, Francis. Sean says Natalia should have went to Belza. It looks nice. Yes, she should have. Brian says, are you back to thinking that Mike was a beta male? You made so much progress with your feelings about Michael, and I hope you haven't gone back to thinking he's pathetic. No, no. I just don't. I want him to fight for his child, and I'm tired of letting. I'm tired of him letting Sasha call the shots. See, I'm glad I'm not the only person that thought about that, Lord B. Alicia says, I like the way Philip checked Xander, but he should have recorded the conversation. I don't think that. Okay, so we know that EJ still got the hospital, right? And Philip was like, hey, listen, if you don't get that hospital, I'm going to tell. Bro, not only are you going to lose that inheritance, but you're also going to go to jail. I don't think that he's going to tell. I really don't. Um, I don't see it. Yeah, in some cases, I kind of wish, that we're talking about Days of Our Lives. I wish I had more time to sit there and do Days of Our Lives reviews. So many shows, so little time. Darby says, I got, I got here on a special occasion. I would put another bottle to rest. I hope for the sake that he, yeah, I do have one. That I have one. No, it's good to see you, Darby. That's right. Cheers, my dear. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. It just like I said, we've been saying this whole week and last week that nothing that he's doing is making any sense. That's a good question, Double C. That's a good question. Maybe she'll come in later on today. Later on tonight. Rashawn says Michael needs to put a nanny cam and date. Sasha needs to put a nanny. Both of them needs to put a nanny cam, and I said that in my review too. Kopakai has an update. Their motto on the wall: "Bite first, bite hard, no mercy." Yeah, that was still. I didn't get a chance to look into that, and I kind of want to do a video on it. But I feel like it's one. I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where it's like it was a moment that happened. It was stupid. Um, I think he got too comfortable, and she has a husband or a boyfriend or whatever. And, you know, I think he either got too comfortable or he's seen it. Like, those are the only two options that I'm going to look at it. Yeah, it's like, dude got a little bit too comfortable. People like, he's 78 years old. He's just senile. Like, no, he just got too damn comfortable. There's a difference. Biting people's hands. Like, what the hell is the matter with you? Like, I know Ken look kind of hot and everything like that, but wait, it came out? Darby, no, no, no. Darby, did it come out? Like, is it out now on Disney Plus? Because I definitely have to watch it tomorrow. Then. Oh shit! Okay, I'm gonna thank you, Darby. I'm gonna be watching this. Is it like all the episodes, or is it just like they releasing a little bit at a time? Yeah, one actor from the show Cobra Kai bit another actor. An actor that plays John Kreese bit this woman. I don't exactly know whole details, but you want to. I guess you just want to like play by her, not really that they're trying to like be angry and draw blood, but just like playing around. But oh, that's his name, Martin. Oh, okay, first three. Oh, okay, cool, 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 cool. Thank you. Well, I'll definitely catch on. Thank you. If you can cut one character from contract, who would it be? I don't know how many people's on contract. I would have to sit there and think of how many people's on contract. I don't know if I would cut anyone though. I really don't know if I would cut anyone to be honest. Who would you cut? I didn't see the new trailer for instance. I just saw the first one because I feel like the more trailers I see, the more well, the more I feel like it spoils it for me. And I think that's what it is. Like once I see the first trailer, I'm done. Like they come out with trailer two and three and four and five. Like I didn't even see the new trailer. I didn't even see the latest new trailer for Superman. Like I'm like, nah. I'll just wait till the movie comes out. Um, like come on now. They be getting a little bit too carried away with these trailers. I'm gonna be honest. They be showing parts in there where it's like, oh god damn, I would have liked to experience seeing that in the theaters. Yeah, I don't. I'll see the trailer, but it's usually because I'm in the movie theaters at the time. So it's like I have no choice but to see it. But you also say that you don't watch end credit scenes, and I mean you don't watch like um the end credit scenes of like movies and stuff. I don't understand that, but let's get Brockway. Ryan says Alexis, Anna, Ava, Brooklyn, Carly, Chase. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, darling. Uh, LaShawn hopefully should be playing Vicky. That make more sense for her to play Vicky. Because Vicky, from Like to Live and General Hospital, they're in the same. Okay. I just took a screenshot. I will think about that one. But thank you for the list, though. Alicia says, Curtis just turned my stomach today. The thing is, I see where both of them are coming from, right? A lie is a lie. When you start lying more than once, it starts to become a pattern, and each lie starts to really hurt you. It starts to really hurt you after a while. So I do get it. But Curtis does have some pretty high, ridiculous standards. Um, and he acts like people are infallible. That's the same problem that I have with Nicole on Beyond the Gates, is that, you know, she's always like, oh, well, you're not meeting my standards or some shit like that. And I'm just um, I'm like, girl, even Ted, well, first of all, Ted called her princess. Eagle said Jordan walking into places without knocking like she owns the place and actually shocked when a married man is kissing his wife. Jordan is such a pathetic character on the show. Yes. I'm like, that's what they're saying. Well, she's been so out of pocket. Now, Alicia says, oh, yeah, Nicole's definitely a tight ass. Let me tell you something. When Nicole starts to get very self righteous and everything, when she starts to get like very judgy, um, her voice starts to get very high pitched. Oh, okay. Okay. It starts to get very high pitched and it starts to get annoying. Okay, I got it. I have to think about that one now. Yeah, I just got it now. I have to think about that. There we go. But yeah, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, people mess up and they lie and they do stupidness. And yes, you could be mad. No one's going to say you have a right to be upset. But at some point, especially if you're married, it's like, what are we doing? You know? Oh, and did y'all not sit there and see the look on Portia's face when Jordan walked in? It was all like, like, oh my God, she had the illest smile on her face, and it was priceless. Yeah, you saw that, right, Francis? Alicia says, can't wait for Ashley and Andre's fallout. You saw how she was sitting there breaking shit at the bar. I was like, yo, girl, you gonna pay for that shit? Like high school stuff with women, both women, yeah. Seriously, Cherry. Um, the sad thing is that normally with the Chelsea scenes, I don't give two flying shits about her. I don't care about her or her character. But like, Allison came back and she was like, "Oh, I want to sit there and kind of reconnect with you." Chelsea, you're in a good place right now. Why are you even sitting there talking to her? You saw when Madison came back, she had that look on her face like she was jealous. Yeah, exactly, Francis. After Martin had to sit there and get his little dizzy dingbat ass out the way, he's like, "Yo, listen, I'm about to sit there and start to go to work. You need to leave." No, I'm not leaving because I want to sit there and see this thing gets done. No, you need to leave. You need to go. No, I'm not going. Literally 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this whole episode because and then there's a point where he's trying to follow this guy. He's trying to follow this guy, and I'm like, bro, you gonna fuck it all up. What are you doing? He said that he got this, and your dumbass is still sitting there hanging out and trying to follow him. I was like, bro, you're not even good at trying to spy at people, spy on people. Stop. Put his ass on notice, I guess, Eagle. I think it could have been Sonny that sent that baseball glove and, getting a DA gifts and stuff like that would come across as a bribe, technically speaking. I don't understand Jordan. I don't understand why would you go back to that? Like, do you not remember when he treated you like shit? Seriously? Do you not remember when he did that? That's true. That's true, Alicia. I remember the last time he got together with a DA, and this shit was just dumb because she literally sat there and said, "So let me get this straight. You're going to seduce me, and you're going to get me thrown off the case, and I'm not going to be able to take you down." And that's exactly what wound up happening. Um, that's when Michael got locked up and sent to prison the first time. And then there was this big fallout because Brenda came back. And the minute that Brenda came back, he tossed that last DA to the side so effing fast. Well, the thing is, Ryan, with Kevin, you probably won't sit there and see. You probably won't sit there and see Kevin for a while because he's on the gates. He's on beyond the gates. So if you don't see him, that's probably why. Like serious, like that ass serious. Which is great because he's like his character on Beyond the Gates is actually really interesting. Eva says Laura was dirty for what she was doing with Eva's starting drama, telling Eva about Rick being with Elizabeth. Laura can go to the new show with Kevin. Oh, Ava. I don't think that she did that on purpose though. It wasn't like I don't think that she intended on starting drama. I think she just sort of fruit drank and was just like, oh. But it always seemed as though like Christina's character in this episode was just pointless. Like I didn't see a specific reason why Christina was actually. That's just the reason why we see a fair amount of Brooklyn and Chase together as well as Drew and Willow together is because they are all main cast members. It's a mistake for so many cast members to be with recurring characters. That's interesting. Interesting observation. That's funny. just didn't do. Oh, and anyone watching Days, it's funny. The only one I didn't take notes for. Well, at least for my what you call this part section was General Hospital. No, no, no. That's what I said. That makes sense. I understand that. Um, like I said, today's episode was just mostly filled with like fluff. If we're gonna be honest, most of this episode, like the beginning, oh, Lobby says yes. I watched Days. Okay, what did you think of it? Um, I'm. It's not a spoiler because it was in the previews, but I'm not going to talk about the previews if you didn't watch it. Um, oh, you haven't watched Days yet? Okay. I thought Days was actually pretty decent. I don't know why they demoted Jack when the new contract was over. Yes, Alicia. Johnny got arrested. Um, I don't understand why Alex said like Stephanie was like, "Well, if you promise that no one ever find out that I'm a mystery writer, then I'll let you publish the." I'm like, girl, there's always a chance that you're gonna get found out as being the publisher for your book. You know, like I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, I would have just told her don't do it because it seemed like she had so much reservations about it. And you know what? Listen, just because I'm an open person as far as like doing this and everything like that, I get that some people aren't like that. I'm like, girl, if you really feel like that, don't do it. You know, Alex would understand. I don't understand how Gabby got off the hook. I don't understand how Gabby's not there being that upset with um, JJ for simply doing his job. You know, and this is all because they got rid of. From what I understand, they got rid of what you call it. They got rid of stuff, and then they replaced stuff with a. It's like he just doesn't have the it factor that Steph had. And it feels like a downgrade to replace Stefan as a love interest for Gabby with JJ. Because JJ half his times don't even seem like he has a personality. If you notice that, he doesn't even seem like he has a personality. Ryan says, I agree that Johnny didn't shoot AJ other than Chad. Johnny is the good to marry. Yes. Wait, wait, Ryan, you've been watching Days of Our Lives? I just read that shit. I was like, when you start watching Days of Our Lives? I mean, that's what's up. Very, 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 very curious. Yeah, and the thing is, his dad doesn't even remember the conversation when EJ told him, listen, you don't want to do this. And says, I know enough about it. A lot of what I know is stuff from years ago. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, I get it. There's a limited amount of time that people have as far as watching this stuff. But if you ever get a chance to watch Days, I would definitely love to hear your opinions on it. Because, I mean, Days is always going to be my second favorite soap opera. Always. General Hospital. It's General Hospital, you know? Um, Barbie says, I hope the gamble making cat and agent works since there's not much going for her right now. Yeah. Um, I think it's interesting so far. I mean, Because let's be honest, they could have made her the new Abby. They could have. They chose not to go that route. Days was Days was decent today. Days was decent. I didn't say it was super amazing, but it was decent. Though. It was decent. Friend says, "What do you think about Chad Dude taking over the role of Chad the Miracasito?" It's hard, for me, because I'm gonna sit there and look at him as Michael. That's that's the problem. I'm gonna look at him as Michael, and they have another guy that's gonna come in and take the place, and the guys from The Young and the Restless named Connor Floyd. Now he plays Chance on The Young and the Restless. I just don't know how I'm gonna feel about him being Chad. You know, see that's the thing. That's one of the like I guess downsides in a sense is that when you watch all the soap operas and you see all the characters from the different soap operas, when they take over another role, you still see them as that person. Except for Noah. Because they ain't do shit with Noah. So like that's one of those things where it's like I can overlook. What's good, Rosemary? I just got I just got on hi everyone in the chat. What's good, Rosemary? It's good to see you. Alicia says Days kinda had a cliffhanger. Yeah. Francis says Cat Lady posts on her channel. Beyond the Gates will rerun next week and new episodes. Oh wow. Yes. Shakira also told me the same. Oh, yeah, Shakira told me the same thing. So that's interesting. No, Ryan. Yeah, that's one of the things that the pan because I was on JOJ Media. I was on the panel. We were talking about different actors that kind of just like slid into the role really well. He was one of those people that did. It took the new Molly a little bit of time for us to sit there and get used to her. Even though they had like three other Mollies that came in, but the last one, she's killing it as Molly. I don't remember her name, something Vega or something, but she's killing it as Molly. Sherry says, when will their write Monica off, or will Erica Slezak replace her role? Yeah, I have no idea, and I'm so not looking forward to it. Unfortunately, um, I don't think they're going to replace. I don't think they're going to replace Monica though, with Erica. And a lot of recasts have to go. Yes, yeah. There's not a lot. There's a few. Um, the new EJ, and this is what I was going to say yesterday. The new EJ from Days of Our Lives. I definitely felt like he did a good job. The new EJ that came in on Dan Fair, I think he did a really good job. Um, the new Philip on Days of Our Lives, I think he's also doing a good job. He has a different take though. So I don't know. I may have to take that back now because like Phillips, I mean, what is his name? Molly Recast started off rough for me, but warmed up after all. Have a good evening, Francis. Enjoy your weekend as well. You have a great night. Yeah, and that's a, yes, exactly, Lorby. He did. Um, some people, I guess they can get somewhat like I don't see him as Noah, but to be honest, they didn't really do much for him as Noah. So um, I'm glad that he's on a show where they can actually appreciate him and he can sit there and show his talent, his acting skills. Because it is a shame that like he was on YNR, they didn't do anything for him. You know, they brought in Audra. They made some backstory that people that really didn't care about. And then he wound up dating and going out with Allie. And then they just, removed them, essentially. That's what they did. They essentially just removed them. Like they just didn't matter. I'm like, wow, okay. Rosemary says Days of Our Lives is my favorite soap opera. Of all of them, I like Days. I know Days. Days is a good soap opera. Days is the Days is the only soap opera that there's been times where I've liked Days more than GH. Eagle says worst recast. Ooh, there's a lot, right? There's the really awful Carly that was played by Jennifer Bradford, or whatever her name was. Um, who else was a horrible recast? And this can go for any show, by the way. That was oh Jack. Well, now we call him Bob the plumber without an accent. The first recast Molly. Remember the first recast Molly? She was exactly the first or the second one that eight Kevins they had on like love. Hmm. And Lorby says Rebecca budding for Taylor on B&B. Ryan says in Jennifer's defense, I will say she did a good job with portraying Carly when she had her mental breakdown. In her defense, but yeah, she was just terrible. Um, I wasn't a fan of Lindsay Hartley when she played Sam. I don't think that she was the I don't think she was the worst recast, but she was not a good. Um, the chick that played the chick that played Jocelyn for a little bit, she wasn't really that great. She was not that great at all. Uh, Damn, who else? I feel like there's a Rolodex of people, and I'm just not tapping into them right now. Or maybe, oh, there was Ethan. Lobby says the recast of Jagger was bad. Jagger case was bad. Yeah, I mean that wasn't just bad. That was disrespectful. I mean, Jagger was a Latin guy, and you replaced him with a white guy with blonde highlights. What the like? Seriously, Jagger was Latino. You replaced him with a white guy On the highlights. Oh, Darby says cat green. Okay. I guess you're just trolling at this point. Seriously, like, how do you do? And the thing is, Cherry, I remember the original Jagger. Yeah, Ryan, I heard of that too. I wound up doing a video on that. This is one of those things where it's like social media has, well, she's destroying her career on social media. Let's put it that way. What's good, Tracy Steves? Jagger was fired. They was on with that replacement. LL the nerd. But I mean, the thing is, she starts to try to release that book, Ryan. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna sit there and sue her ass into the ground. Because the thing is, Ryan, I talked about that. I was like, the only thing you're gonna sit there and do is make a hostile work environment, and nobody wants that. Tracy says some people don't need social media; they need to stay. Yeah, exactly. They don't need social media; they need Jesus. Is what they need. But like, and that's the problem. Tracy says, I'm all for people expressing themselves. Um, like, hey, listen, post what you want to post. I'm just saying, Eagle. But like, you have the right to say what you want to say, but at the same time, consequences. You're not free from consequences. That's the thing. People always sit there and say, "Oh, it's a free country. I have the right to freedom of speech." Okay, cool. You don't have the right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the right to sit there and get the consequences of your actions. Honestly, tell you the truth, Lobby, that's been her saving grace for years. For years, that has been her saving grace. Because listen, as much as I don't like her as a person, she kills it as an actress. Alexis, like that's Alexis. Remember when he had that other chick come in and she played Alexis for a little bit, and we are just like, "What the are you doing?" Yes, yes, Ryan. There's a thing called attack. There's a thing called attack. To tell you the truth, you don't need to sit there and say every single thing that you're thinking of. Right? You don't need to say every single thing that is coming out of your mouth. Like it's okay to keep some stuff to yourself. Take it from a person who does social media. I don't need to sit there and say everything that comes out of my goddamn mouth. Like it's okay. Okay, that's enough of that. Yes, there was two recasts that played. Well, I mean, there was just two. There was really three. There was really three actresses that played Trina. Um, but they didn't recast them. Like Tavi was a recast for Sid. For instance, I know some people would probably say that if Nancy was a man, people wouldn't have an issue with how outspoken is, and that's definitely not true because if you look at Ingo Rodemaker, that dude is outspoken too, and people have a huge problem with him. People have a huge problem with him. So yeah, but that is usually their go-to move. That is usually their go-to move. I will sit there and say, um, I mean, LaShawn, personally, I like Toby. I know some people like, well, Reese's Angle definitely made it tough for himself. Yeah, yeah. I mean, some of the stuff was just straight up ignorance, right? Some of that was just ignorance on his part. Yeah, some of it was just ignorance on his part. Some of it, I understood where he was coming from. The lawsuit definitely didn't help. Um, but sometimes it's about principles for people, and I get that. I mean, I'm pretty sure even before he filed that lawsuit, there must have been somebody in his corner be like, I don't know if you should do that. Like, once you do that, you can't go back. Like, I know people heard Victoria Robin, okay? And while she's not coming back to CBS ever, ever, she is never coming back to CBS. Ryan says, I do agree that women are, if I do agree that women are expected to shut up and be nice, but sometimes if we think a woman is being rude, it's because that woman is being rude. It's not nothing. Yeah, exactly. But again, that's a defense, right? That's always been a defense for people who want to be outspoken and then say, "Well, if I was a man, if you was a man, we would call you an asshole." What else? I get that there's sexism, double standards. I get all that, but sometimes, it's like you said, it is what it is. Rosemary says, I went and saw two short in concert at the fairgrounds in Pleasant, California Wednesday. Had a good concert. Okay, that's what's up. Glad to hear that. I hope it wasn't too hot for you. I know that a lot of parts have been there's been a giant heat wave. There's been a giant heat wave. So like out here, I mean, it finally broke, but it was like I like hot, but like this was like unbearable. You know? It was that bad. It was that bad. So, but you know what they say, Laura B. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. You know? I mean, it's like I want him to come back too, but yeah, it was unbearable recently. Yeah, every part. Like my friend, she lives in the UK, and she was telling me like how it was a massive heat wave over there. Ryan says sometimes I have to catch myself when I unintentionally say something that sounds sexist. Do you remember when Scarlett Johansson sued Marvel plus over the profits for Black? Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. That was. I'm glad they're on good terms now. Um, it was a very dicey situation because you know at the time you had COVID and everything like that, so it's like you, you really couldn't see it in the theaters. Like they had to sit there and try to make some sort of money from it. And plus, people already had a problem. Like I'm gonna be honest, there are some Marvel fans that are very sexist and won't go and see a movie because it's a woman. So they did their best to sit there and try to recoup that money. And unfortunately, she didn't get the money that she felt that she deserved. If we're going to be honest, you know, even if it wasn't COVID, I don't think that she would have made as much money as she thought she would. Unfortunately, no, it wasn't too high. Okay, yeah, I remember that too, LaShawn. And it's funny too because I go back and I look at those scenes and I'm just like, well, that was Phyllis. Barbie says it was a shame I like Jagger, but it doesn't look like he's coming back. Oh, Jasper Jacks. Yeah. Um, I like Jasper Jacks. It's a shame when you have drama that comes from the actor or comes from the studio. When you have background drama that messes up the story and the characters from the show that people are watching, that's when it's a shame. Because I'm not gonna just sit there and put that all on Anchor. But I didn't see Michelle Sapp's name. I only saw her on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, well, because I've been watching Young and the Restless for a while. So when she came on, I'm looking at those scenes. I'm just like, she's still playing Phyllis. She's still playing Phyllis. When Cynthia Watros came on, that's when we got to sit there and see Nina. But like, she's been playing Phyllis for like X amount of years, and for some odd reason, she decided to stop, go to General Hospital, and play a new character. But you're not really playing a new character when you really think about it. You're only playing a new character to the people that didn't see you play Phyllis. See, because I watch all the shows, like I look back at those scenes, and I'm just like, you only. I don't want to sit there and say you fool people, but like, unless you watched Young and the Restless, you're gonna know that she's just playing Phyllis. I mean, hell, I don't blame her. She's been playing the same character for like 30 something years. So, Ryan says I made a comment saying that she was being ungrateful. And then I walked it back because women in Hollywood are always accused of being ungrateful. Well, I don't think you should walk that back. I think maybe you were just afraid of coming across as sexist, but if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. You're not just saying every woman in Hollywood is coming across as ungrateful. You're saying her. She is coming across as ungrateful. Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. And the thing is, Ryan, I mean, don't get it twisted. I've seen where you have been over the top. That's not one of those times, but I get you didn't want to sit there and make people upset or whatever, but you should have stood on that. I know it's kind of hearsay, but you should have stood on it. Bobby says appears Cynthia is playing a new angel is playing a new angle to the character. What do you mean? Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though, right? Listen, don't. I'm not saying this. I'm not trying to give you a license to go out and just be an asshole. But you can't worry about somebody being triggered because you said something that they didn't like. You know, it's your opinion. The minute you start snipping, second guessing your opinion or taking back your words, what's the point? What's the point of you having a voice if you're too afraid to use it? Because you're worried that somebody else is going to be upset or triggered. Certain things should just be what it is. You're not saying anything racist or anything like that. And, if I had to sit there and constantly worried about people being triggered about what I said, I wouldn't be doing this. Because you're never gonna make everybody happy. Never. What's good, Jonathan? What he says from what I saw was limited, but the old Nina was not a mother or grandmother. There is, dare I say, a softening of her. What's good, Mika? How are you doing tonight? Hope y'all are well. Nice little thing. And his softness comprehensive would soothe them after having such a long term week's month. But after I thought about it, I agree with her. Okay, well, all right, well, that's a reason to take it back. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it was I can see both sides. I'll say that much. I can see both sides. Doing good, Mika. I survived. So I am doing pretty damn well, actually. I mean, I know everyone had like long days and stuff like that, but you know, Mika, I don't know if you saw, but I was on JLJ Media yesterday for like 11:30. Why was actually decent. Why not was decent. Um, Kane. My whole thing is like Kane doesn't understand the word no. He doesn't understand the word no, and you know, Lily overreacts, but on some level, it's like, I'm like, bro, if she says no, just let it go. She got to sit and resort to childish ish. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but just a very childish move where I'm like, I was kind of annoyed with it, but then at the same time, I was like, hey, no, he means no. Ryan said, but she made up with Marvin Disney. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, like you said, they have a good standing relationship. Why mess that up? Yeah, Tracy, it was me, it was Dion, and it was some other woman from a podcast I've never heard of. Um, but she seemed like she was nice though. So yeah, but it was fun though. Because said, "Saw you, Albert. You did so good. Love how you had the fact checking during." Yeah, I had to do. Well, I was doing that, but I was also sitting there looking at the chat. Um, because I want to sit there and try to respond to the chat and say hi to people and stuff like that. So that's why I had my tablet. Because that was the only way I was going to be able to see what was going on in the chat. I want to see who was in there, what was y'all talking about, stuff like that. Yeah, he's supposed to have Lobby. He's supposed to have Brock on there in a couple weeks. Yes, I did. I did, Jonathan. I did. I gotta. I feel like I have to go back and rewatch it again. Like I watched it. I don't know what to think of it, so I have to watch it again. I didn't get a chance to. I didn't get a chance to do like a reaction video towards it, but like I did watch it. I don't know how I'm gonna do reaction videos on that, but I do have some plans to do some other stuff though for days that I do. So it's going to be fun this week, and I'll tell you that much. It is going to be fun. So, Jonathan, I hope I get to sit there and see you this week. Because says being on the tablet with the quickness had to want to see what's going on, you know? Ryan says, who's your favorite movie actor? I don't have one. That's the thing, though. I used to have them as kids, and then I grew up, and then I realized, like, I don't, yeah, I don't actually have one. I don't have one I can sit there and think of. I usually just go by movies. I'll tell you this much, Ryan. My favorite non superhero movies, and there's two of them, Pain and Gain and Don Juan are probably my favorite two, like non superhero kind of movies. Like I can watch those movies all day. Julia Roberts. I don't remember the last time Hank movie I saw. But no, those are my favorite movies. Pain and Gain is just there's something about Pain and Gain that I can just watch that movie over and over again. Yeah, so yeah, I hope we get to sit down and see you this weekend because we got some fun. I have to work on part two tomorrow for Sunday. But yeah, I know who Margaret Robbie is. Ryan. Uh, I didn't see Barbie. I'm never going to see that movie, but I did see a Suicide Squad movie, and I kind of swore I saw like other movies with her. But yeah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one, man. That's a hard one. It's like say like I used to really like Will Smith, and then the whole drama thing happened, and I was just like, eh. And then at that point, I was like, I think I'll just go by the movies. If you're good in the movie, that's cool. But like, and I get it. People are human. They're fallible. No one's perfect and everything like that. But like, that is correct. That did happen. Part of me wants to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Ryan. Everybody says, what is your all-time favorite TV show you grew with? The kind of show that would have you running home to watch every day. Ooh. Batman the animated series. Like, no, seriously, Batman the animated series. Before it was like General Hospital, because I used to come on F3, it was Batman the animated series. because I could have swore that I came on like 4 o'clock, so I had to make sure I got done with my homework before um, I watched that show. Dory says Star Trek or Batman for me. I'm somewhat of a huge Star Trek fan. I only recently started getting to the Star Wars Star Wars stuff. But the Star Wars fandom is. Oh, that says I think you would actually like Ramirez, not the superficial overgrown movie that I think you think it is. You know, my friend, he liked the movie. He liked the movie. So, uh, and sometimes I have to question his taste in movies. Stuff. I'm not going to say why, just in case he's watching it, but sometimes I have to question his taste in movies. I mean, I don't think it's. I can't. I can't do it. I mean, I love the Notebook. If we're going to be honest, um, and A Walk to Remember. So those two movies is movies that I really do like. Those are movies I would sit there and say, yeah, I rock with those two movies. Okay, Darby, I need to ask you a question. You know what? I need to ask my Star Trek fans a question. Favorite captain? Favorite Star Trek captain? Genji says when people say Natalia Ramirez, my mind goes to TGA Flight 149. She played Maria Santos in All My Children. Her death traumatized me. I still remember her face. And I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna go back and start watching some old clips of that. Jonathan, that was the go back then. Well, yes, Darby, favorite captain. That's what I said. I want to know that. I want to know people's favorite captain. Black captain. Cisco. Never heard of. I never heard of that. See, see, this is the reason why Jonathan's my guy right there, right there. That's the fucking reason why he's my guy right there. I just sat there and was like, bro, oh, lower deck. Okay. I was about to sit there, so like, I've never heard of that person. See, right then and there, Jonathan already knew who my favorite captain was. He already know. This dude just said black captain. Like, I was like, bro, you know what? Google's your friend. Christopher Pike. See, people always either pick two. They either pick Picard or they pick Kirk. Like they either, it's either one or the other. I mean, I don't have a problem with Janeway, but like I don't think anyone actually picks her. I don't think anyone picks her. If we're gonna be honest. Yeah, you know the thing is, unfortunately, I've been out the loop with like Star Trek stuff. Captain Morgan. Yeah, just try. Well, I still gotta watch what you call it though. So thank you for letting me know. I will definitely watch Ironheart tomorrow. Jen says it's because those are the two known series popularity contests. Even people that don't know. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good one because Albert drinks cherry. I do, but I'm very curious to sit there and see that show. Uh, but like you go to like popularity, like just to kind of bring it back to soaps. It's like I was talking to some woman. I was talking to this one woman that likes Days, and she's talking about Bo and Hope and stuff like that. And I'm like, I was like, if I ask the customer behind me, they'll know who Luke and Laura is. Like they'll know about Luke and Laura's wedding, but they won't know about Bo and Hope. You know, it's like yeah, some people may know about Steve and Kayla, but like you don't know who Luke and Laura is. Like you don't even have to watch soaps. You know who Luke and Laura is. That's just you know. Darby says, "Bo and Hope bore the hell out of me." How long have you been watching Days? Or you just don't like them as characters? See, like Bo and Hope don't really do much for me. You know, she played as Lola's mom on The Young and Restless. Yep, that's true. That's true, Genji. Brian says same with Erica Kane. Yeah, everyone knows who Erica Kane is. Um, I would have to sit there and wonder who's more popular, Luke and Laura or Erica Kane. Like if you just put those two up and you ask, like, you know, see who knows more. Who do you think will be more popular though? Erica Kane or Luke and Laura? Because it still makes me go back to Luke and Laura. Erica Kane will be up there, but 9 out of 10 people know who Luke and Laura is before they know who Erica Kane is. That's the truth of it. I mean, if you think about it, so is Luke and Laura. Well, I can't even sit there and say I don't know if Luke and Laura are actually overrated. I can't say that. I can't sit there and say that Luke and Laura are overrated. I think I might have said that at one point in time, and I really think about it. I'm just like, Erica Kane's over. Erica Kane over Luke and Laura. Barbie says, I disagree, but that's your opinion. I mean, to be fair, I do think that Susan Lucci has been on longer than Luke and Laura. So I could be wrong, but Ryan says, would you want to see Sky return? Eh, really? Sky was never a character that I was like super into. Like I didn't hate her. I didn't dislike her or anything like that, but I was never like, you know, she's more famous than Luke and Laura. Okay? But she was never a character that I was like came and went, you know. It didn't really matter to me, unfortunately. I might be wrong then. Obi says they didn't show much of it this time around, so it could be boring for some. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't. Oh, I remember. I remember Ryan. I remember she was on one. I didn't know about. I knew that she was on All My Children. I didn't watch All My Children, but I knew when she was um, on like Live, she was kind of shacking up a little bit with a guy named Max Holden. Happy night, Laura B. But no, I know about her character. She just didn't really do it that much for me, though, you know. But I didn't dislike her. It was just like I can take her or leave her. You know how it is, Ryan. There's some guys you can just be like. Jen says Leslie on Beyond the Gates reminds me of her. Yes, you too, Laura B. You have a great night. I'm just glad that Leslie was not her usual over the top cartoonist self today. I still don't like the fact that she only called Eva up because she said that she was lonely. Like, girl, if you're lonely, go out and buy a dog or something. Like, you treated your daughter like shit. And even though that they had their little nice moment, I'm just like, nah, ain't cool. But that's just me. Anyway, um, yeah, I think I'm gonna sit there and call it a night on this one. Get some rest. So this way I don't oversleep and sleep the Saturday away. But I'll be back tomorrow for members. If you're not a member, make sure you join and you become a member. Have a lot of good stuff planned this weekend. So definitely, definitely, definitely become a member and check it out. Um, Members, I will sit there and see y'all tomorrow. Everybody else, I will sit there and see y'all on Monday. Hopefully, if they don't screw up my schedule at work. But time will tell. Anyway, have a great weekend, everyone. I look forward to seeing each and every single one of y'all very, very soon. Members tomorrow, and everybody else on either Monday or Tuesday, depending on what they do in my schedule. But yes, have a good night, Cherry. Have a good night, Ryan. Have a good night, Darby. Have a good night, LaShawn. Avetta. Have a good night, Avetta. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me. Have a good night, Queen Janet. And everybody else, you know exactly who you are. And I will see y'all in the next stream. Oh, have a good night, Darby and Jonathan. Laters.